Hey everybody, it's Tech Comics again. Whoa, that's a little too close to my face. There we go. Show a little higher. It's me again. I want to do a contest video today for a channel that I am newly subscribed to. So far, what I've watched of his videos and his content has just been great. Not only does he have an excellent collection of books, but I like how he has them set up in the back of him with the short boxes and a book in front of the short box. Looks like his organization skills are way better than mine, but I'm getting there, you know. But yeah, he's throwing a contest right now, and it was for a 300 sub contest. And the YouTuber I'm talking about is Comics with Bueller. You know, he's also been showing my channel. Well, you've been showing my channel a lot of support by hopping into my live streams every once in a blue moon, leaving me some cool comments, you know. And so I want to pay it forward back to you, man. I just want to do this contest video for you for support. I know there's multiple ways you can enter your contest. I just want to shoot a video. I'm not worried about how many entries I get into video, but he's doing this contest too, pretty interesting. It is, he's calling it the Thunderdome, and that's, you know, one person take all, which is pretty cool. You know, definitely, when he said that, I mean, of course, the first thing I thought was Mad Max. You know, Mad Max and Thunderdome. You know, you had one of my favorite female singers of all time, Tina Turner, in there, you know, and she actually had a song on that soundtrack, which I love, We Don't Need Another Hero. Freaking love that song. But I also want to do this video because I show support to you, because I like what you're asking for us to do out here on YouTube for your contest. And so I'll get into that real quick. I'll get into the rules. That way, if anybody hasn't seen your contest video yet and they watch this video, maybe they'll hear the rules, and maybe that'll entice them to shoot a video to show support. So, first rule is you must be 18 or older. You must be subscribed or be subscribed to his channel. So if you're not subscribed yet, he's saying you can subscribe, you know, and shoot a video. He's also asking that you live on the planet Earth. That kind of cracked me up, because I've seen a couple of videos where people have shot for your contest, Bueller, and I think it's pretty funny, you know, and I've even seen comments, you know, where they say, well, it was Pluto or Uranus and all that stuff, you know. So I got what you meant by this. Is what you're saying is, hey, man, you're willing to ship to anybody who enters your contest. And I think that's awesome, you know, because, you know, sometimes things can be a little tight on sending things out, and, you know, hey, man, I think that's great that you're leaving it open to everybody. And, oh, man, I forgot to write down when your contest ends, but I think you're giving it about 2 to 3 weeks for your contest, so that gives plenty of time for anybody who wants to do this to do this. Sorry about my hair, it's a little wavy, curly. So what he's looking for you to do in your video, or he said you can leave a comment too in his contest video. So, and he would also like you to link it to his contest video. I'm pretty sure he'll be cool too if you linked it to his updated ones too. He just wants to be able to find your video if you did it or not, so that way he can watch it and then put you in as how many entries you get for doing a video, and how many entries you get to leaving comments. And I believe he also said he does Twitter and things like that, so you can follow him on that, or Instagram. I believe that's what it was. So what he's looking for is, first thing is, he wants you to show your favorite Todd McFarlane cover. Now that one I was kind of like, man, you know, because that's hard. I love McFarlane. I loved his stuff when he started doing Spawn. You know, I didn't realize at the time that he was doing Spider-Man. I know that sounds ridiculous, right? But you know, when I started to get to the point where I wasn't collecting anymore, it was right after I stopped collecting Spawn. And like I've said in the past, at that time when I quit collecting, I only had 5 Spider-Man books, and none of them were McFarlane covers at all. None of them were. I was collecting McFarlane when he was doing Spawn, and I loved his Spawn stuff, you know. And when and that sounds kind of funny, because the cover I'm going to show, McFarlane did, you know, and I didn't realize McFarlane did it, be honest, until when I went to my con to get some signatures from Stan Lee. I realized at the time, oh my God, McFarlane did this cover, and I do love this cover. In fact, I even drew it. I tried to draw it, but I do love this cover. For me, it's an iconic cover. A lot of covers that he's done, I mean, like I said, there's Spider-Man that he's done. There's Spawn. Gosh, there's even an Incredible Hulk one that he did where Spider-Man's punching Incredible Hulk in the gut and lifting him up. That was a McFarlane cover there. He also did another Hulk cover, and I believe it was when Hulk was gray. And I'm not sure if he was the first one to draw Hulk gray. Maybe he was. You know, that's what it is. So I'm just being honest. But I do love this Todd McFarlane cover. I love it so much that I got slabbed, and like I said, I got signed by Stan Lee. So if I were to ever unslab this, but it's at a high grade, that's what makes me nervous, I would definitely get McFarlane to sign it. And I'll show that in a few minutes. And the second one is he wants you to show your favorite 80s movie. Now, my favorite movie, I have some honorable mentions. Now, they weren't done in the 80s, but I got the dates and everything. I just figured I wanted to show these, and then I do have it down to 2 of my favorite 80s movies. And there was a lot of 80s movies back then. Oh, gosh, I mean, you had 16 Candles. You had My Science Project. Yeah, My Science Project. You had Weird Science. Gosh, I mean, there was just a bunch. You know, Pretty in Pink. You know, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, I believe, was, yeah, it was done in around 1980s. I'm just trying to remember dates. Make sure I went over everything. Okay. Yep. So he just wants you to do 2 things. Show your favorite Todd McFarlane cover, and then show your favorite 80s movie. Now, Goonies, too. Goonies is awesome. What's cool is your last update video, comics with Bueller, I found out you live in Oregon because I saw that Oregon t-shirt on. I'm thinking, man, if he lives in Oregon, that's cool. And then sure enough, you said you live in Oregon. And so do I, man. I live in Oregon. I haven't been to the Goonies house yet. I would love to. I do know a person, though, that's been there and actually filmed there because he had a TV show there for a while, and it was Area 51. It was Chris from Area 51. He went there with the people that that work with him, and they went to the house and stuff like that. And he did the shuffle. It was pretty funny. So without getting off too much on a tangent there, I'm going to go ahead and show my favorite McFarlane cover, and this is Incredible Hulk 340. And yeah, this book, I love this book. X-Men and the leader appearance. Okay, so I got signed by Stan Lee, so I wouldn't mind getting this signed by McFarlane. Came back in a 9.8. That's the only reason why I'm kind of freaked out, because I'm afraid that grade could drop. Now, I shouldn't be, right? Because it's not like I'm looking to sell this book, but, you know, I mean, at a 9.8, kind of itching to go down there. But if I could get Todd McFarlane to sign this, I'd be stoked. That's my favorite Todd McFarlane cover. Okay, now I'm going to go off my list because I wrote down the dates. There's no way I'm going to remember all the dates on this. But the reason why I'm showing this movie is because, I mean, I feel this is an honorable mention. This is a great movie. It's one of my wife's favorites, in fact. And it's Jack Nicholson, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Great movie. Now, this did not come out in the 80s. This one came out on November 19th, 1975. So, yeah, great movie. And it's VHS, right? I have a bunch of VHS tapes. This one is like one of my favorites, but it didn't come out in the 80s at all. And it is The Crow, Brandon Lee, Bruce Lee's son, VHS. Yeah, buddy. And this one came out on May 11th, 1994. Great movie. I love this movie. I got the action figure of this and of Brandon Lee, and I also got the poster in my garage. This was also another favorite movie of mine, Interview with the Vampire. And this one came out on November 11th, 1994. Love this movie too. I got a poster of this bad boy. I want to get it framed and hung up nicely. Love that movie. Of course, you know, Braveheart. My God, man. One of the iconic dual cassette. Braveheart came out May 19th, 1995. Great movie. I mean, Mel Gibson, some of his best. But this movie here, I wish it came out in the 80s because this is my favorite comedy of all time, hands down. I love this movie. I mean, I like a lot of Will Ferrell movies too, you know, and it's kind of go back and forth. But if I had to choose my favorite movie of all time, and I wish this was done in the 80s because this would be an easy choice for me, is Kingpin. Freaking love Kingpin. And this movie came out July 26, 1996. love this movie. There's so many one-liners in this movie. I freaking love it. And yeah, I'm showing these all. I got them all on VHS. I do have some of them on DVD. This paper don't want to stay in there. I tell you, that's the one thing that's kind of crappy about VHS boxes. But yeah, I had to buy this on DVD because I started wearing out the tape. Gee, Christmas. There we go. All right. So it came down to these two movies for the 80s that I really like. Now, like I said, the ones I mentioned before, Goonies and all that stuff, I love those movies. But the one movie, this is probably my second runner-up. I mean, honestly, for 80s movies. Let me just make sure I got the date on that right, because, yeah, okay. To me, this is one of Val Kilmer. This is one of my favorite Val Kilmer movies. I mean, I do like My Science Project. I think that was when he did, and then of course he was in he was a bunch of movies, but back then, back in the 80s. Maybe it'll come to me in a few minutes. But Top Secret. This movie came out on June 8th, 1984. This would be my runner-up. I love this movie. I mean, there's he's like he plays a character, you know, where he's like a musician from the United States, and he goes to Germany, and he thinks he's going there. You know, he's going there on a tour, but then he just kind of gets mixed up in the wrong crowd. Finds out that he's on like a revolution against the Germans. But it's just funny. I mean, this picture on the cow. If you haven't seen this movie, I suggest you rent it, or if you can rent it or download it. This movie is just so damn funny. I mean, there's people in here with the names like Chocolate Mousse, Deja Vu, oh gosh, Nigel. Of course, his name in the movie is Nick Rivas. There's a great soundtrack in this. I mean, it's just, this movie is great. It's a great movie. I laughed my butt off. But this is my favorite 80s movie, hands down, because it's got the famous line in it where I want my $2. Now, if you guys don't know what that's from, then you definitely weren't born in the 80s, and I'm talking about Better Off Dead. It took me a long time to finally get a copy of this, because when I went to finally actually try to hunt this movie down on DVD, they wanted, like, this one store wanted crazy money for it, and they had to order it, and they wanted like 60 to 90 bucks for it just on on DVD. It wasn't even on Blu-ray. I was like, God, you know, so, and I believe the place was called, I believe they're closed now, Suncoast, you know. So, you know, one day, I'm like, years later, I'm walking through a Walmart, and sure enough, there it was on VHS. Better Off Dead, John Cusack, one of my favorite movies all time from the 80s. I mean, you know, like I said, you had that boy freaking chasing after him, wanting his $2, you know, and the kid was a lousy paper boy. Then you had Booger from, you know, Revenge of the Nerds. And you know, those are also great movies, Revenge of the Nerds. God, I love those movies. But Booger was in this, and that was his buddy, and he was trying to help him how to ski this treacherous mountain, you know. Then he's always drawing illustrations, and they come to life in his head, and he's thinking about it, you know, because he wants his girl back who she left him to go with the new guy that's on the mountain. So great movie, Better Off Dead. A lot of great one-liners, you know. It's just a fantastic movie. You talk about a car too. He has an awesome car in this movie. So this would be my #1 pick for the 80s. I was so glad I finally got it on VHS. I pull this bad boy out every once in a while and watch it. I just don't want to break this tape because this is the only copy that I have of this. I mean, I could probably find on DVD now, but I don't know how much they're selling it for, because I don't think they really released this movie as much as they should have. It's a great movie. I mean, and the director, you know, I believe he's the same one that directed a lot of movies. Let me see here if I can find him. Because he did a lot of the 80s movies. Gosh, I cannot see his name. But if anybody knows, you can definitely say it. I know my brother would definitely know the name of this, of the director. But, I mean, all time, just fantastic movie. Okay, this says it was directed by Savage Steve Holland. No, he wasn't. This wasn't the same guy who directed, you know, like 16 Candles and things like that. That guy was just all-time genius at movies back in the 80s. I mean, I don't think he didn't put on an 80s movie that wasn't a big hit. So that being said, and my trying to remember knowledge stuff. Congratulations again, Comics at the Bueller, for reaching 300. I believe you're over 300 now, which is just fantastic. And I can just see your channel growing and growing and growing. And I appreciate what you do in the community, as showing your books, telling us stories, you know, and talking about history of books. I really appreciate that. And you know, and I just want to, like I said, just really thank you for supporting my channel. I mean, honestly, because to me, you know, I love to be able to give back to the community when I can. I know I don't do as many contests as I probably could, but you know, I just try to find other ways. And I think what you're doing in your contest is just phenomenal. My God, dude, that's what you're giving away is a huge prize, and whoever wins, hey, good luck. Seriously. And I just want to say right now, and I will say when you finally end your contest, congratulations to whoever wins. And you know, I just hope that you get more subscribers and more support for your channel, because I'd love to see your channel stay on YouTube so I can keep watching out videos when you put them out. So with that being said, this is Tat Comics saying rock on. And hopefully one of these days, man, I can run into you somewhere in Oregon. Oregon's a big state, you know. Maybe if you're coming down south, you know, we could run into each other at a comic book store or something like that. Or if I'm going up to a con in Portland, you know, which I am this Saturday. This Saturday I'm going to the Wizard World Comic Con. I'm going there to meet up with my brother. That's the main reason why I'm going. And then I thought maybe hunt for some books. I'm definitely going in September back up to Portland for the Rose City Comic Con. So with that being said, that's the final word. Final word, I promise. Squirrel. Okay, either way. My backyard looks beautiful. Got it all mowed and everything looks great, man. With that being said, this is Tat Comics saying rock on. Rock on, Comic with the Bueller, man. Keep putting out those great vids, and I hope you get more support for your channel, especially with showing vids and what you're doing, brother. Take care, man. Right on.